Good day everyone, this is Kevin Javid and this is my twin brother Artaban and we're partners at Graphicwise. The reason we're putting together this video today is to give you guys, the business owners, some tips about things you should be doing today, tomorrow, and the upcoming weeks during this pandemic to help your business not only sustain but also grow. So without further ado, here are the 6 tips that you should be doing today.
Tip number 1, Google My Business. As a small business owner, you should have access to your Google My Business account. I want you guys to do 2 things. Log in and update your office hours. And if you guys are temporarily closed, mark it as such. Next, go to the sidebar and find the area about reviews. A lot of your customers may have left you reviews, but Google requires you to reply to those reviews. So definitely go through them, find all the reviews, whether they're good or bad, old or new, and write a nice, authentic reply to each one of them.
Tip number 2, blogging. It is super important that you guys keep in touch with not only your current customers, but also potential customers. And especially in this time of the pandemic, we should be blogging about things that are helpful to our community. So for example, before we go and start a blog, we should go to trends.google.com and find the keywords that are trending and queries. People are typing in questions and make note of what those things are. Then we start to write our blog. We use that query in our title and also use that keyword throughout our blog so that Google understands you're actually answering some important questions. Make sure your blogs are 800 words all the way up to 1200 words or beyond, and be as helpful as you can be. For example, let's say you're a real estate agent and typically you would blog about when to buy a house, where to buy a house, and things like that. But right now, I don't think anybody cares about that. What they care about is today. So instead of writing about those things in the future that nobody knows if we're gonna get there or not, focus on what's in the news that relates to your business. For example, here in California, our governor has talked about housing and rent and mortgage payments. So if you're a real estate agent, you'll take those keywords and you'll tie it into today's events to be helpful to the people out there reading these things and be a resource to the community.
Tip number 3, notice about COVID-19. When people come to your website, they may assume you're open or closed. But if you have a banner or a pop-up that talks about your procedures, your office hours, wearing masks, washing your hands, or keeping a social distance, it keeps people informed about what's going on inside your business. So if you don't have a notice on your website, definitely make sure to have a banner or a pop-up that explains every information that you need them to know.
Tip number 4.
Cuatro, that's in Spanish.
Pivot your budget. What does that mean? It means as business owners, we're all putting money in different silos or different things marketing-wise that we want to accomplish during the year, whether it be putting ads in newspapers, buying trade show booths, or things like that to diversify our marketing. What I'm here to tell you is that nobody really wants to go to a trade show anymore, because even once the pandemic is over, they may be fearful of shaking hands with people or being under the same roof in a big convention center. So grab the money back from those contracts, cancel those contracts, cancel those ads in newspapers or wherever you're putting them, and instead put them into digital marketing. Everybody is in front of their computers at home. They have nothing better to do than surf the web or be on social media. So instead of wasting money in places that may not make sense right now, put those money back into your marketing, but make it very targeted so that you're putting social media ads, spending it on SEO, spending on Google AdWords, so that we can capture this audience that is in front of their screens 24 hours a day.
Tip number 5, pivoting your services and products during the pandemic. A lot of you guys may be worried to go out of business because you guys are losing customers. I'm going to talk to you guys about an important aspect that's called pivoting your services during these times. We have an example of a friend and colleague who actually is making millions of dollars during these pandemic times because he pivoted his services. He sells big salad bars to restaurants and to hotels. But for the past few weeks, people have been canceling their orders. So instead of folding and closing down shop, he decided to change things around. He took the sneeze guards from those salad bars and started selling them exclusively to large retailers and supermarkets. He took the already products that he already had, the people he already had, and the processes, and he took one thing and turned it into another. So it's extremely important for you guys to take your products and services and mold them to today's needs. That's the only way you guys can survive.
Tip number 6. Social media posts. Up until now, we were all taking pictures of our business, of our products, of our service, even taking pictures of our lunch and putting it on social media. Well, the times have changed. Instead of entertaining and promoting, we should be doing something much more important.
We have to be educational, engaging, and encouraging.
So by taking pictures of yourself or videos of yourself and being extremely authentic means you have to be who you are, being helpful, being kind. You can make your audience follow you, listen to you, and feel encouraged about the things that you're saying. In time, you're gonna have a bigger fan base, and once the times are right, they're gonna become your customers again.
Tip number 7.
7.
Bonus, okay? We're going to talk about newsletters. A lot of you may think that newsletters are something of the past and it's too cumbersome to do that. However, in this day and age, newsletters are making a comeback, and a big comeback at that. You already have the list of your customers. You already have a list of people that you network with. So put those together and send them informational newsletters every week. Make sure you're in front of their eyes time and time again. I'm going to tell you a personal story. I recently bought a rug from a retailer in California called Crate & Barrel. I bet they have that all over the world. The reason I purchased the rug was because for 3 years, every day I got a newsletter from them. And finally, my wife and I were talking about buying a rug, and guess what popped into my inbox? It was a newsletter from Crate & Barrel talking about a sale on rugs. So that's why it's extremely important. It's a very affordable way to get your message out, but also people will remember you, and in time they're going to start buying from you.
Tip number 8.
There's a tip number 8?
Yeah, this is an extra bonus one too. This one has to do specifically with servicing your existing customers. Now, as a web design agency and marketing agency, a few weeks ago we were sitting around thinking, okay, well, what should we do to be helpful? And we decided to donate our time to our customers. So we decided that we're going to spend 1 hour on every customer, calling them up or emailing them, asking them, hey, is there anything we can do for you? Do you want us to look over your Facebook ads to see if things have been designed correctly? Do you want us to go to your website and maybe update some things on your website? Believe it or not, everybody responded extremely well to that. So instead of making it all about business, also make it about friendship and making connections and making those connections even stronger. So offer things to your customers, be generous, and in time they'll be generous with you too.
Thanks everyone for watching, and I hope the tips we gave you guys today will help you guys get through the COVID-19 crisis.
And please continue to follow us on our social media pages, website, and YouTube for more tips on marketing, branding, and design.